In this section, we are going to continue with the setup of the Ganesh and development brand, Ganesh and Truffle, and start by deploying ERC-20 contracts. So we have the app image from Ganesh that we downloaded earlier. We're just going to launch it as usual. Only little option here that we are going to use is for high density screens. If you have a screen that has a lot of pixels, has high resolution, it may look a bit too small, so you have to pass an option. I'm going to create a directory for the ERC-20 tokens just to have it as a separate project. From there, we install the Truffle dependency and the Open Zeppelin dependencies, where we get the kind of standard implementation of ERC-20. Next, we initialize the Truffle environment. This will copy some configuration files. We can try compiling a project, even though I think at this point there's nothing there. Just the migrations. For the next step, we are going to create our first ERC-20 contract by using Open Zeppelin. So there's an example on the Open Zeppelin GitHub, but it's about ERC-721. The only thing we need to change is replace ERC-721 with ERC-20 in this example. We are going to call this token A token, and the second one would be called B token. Then we proceed to compile it and deploy it, migrate it to the Ganesh blockchain. We can see there's an error here because Truffle is using Solidity 060, sorry, and Truffle is using Solidity 516. So we have to update the compiler setting in Truffle. Now the problem is that we have 0.7 and we said we wanted 0.6. So let's put 0.7 here. Oh, they want 0.60 exactly. Okay, so that's not going to work. We want to specify 0.60. Okay, I changed my pragma to 7. Go back to 0.6. Alright, so this is working. Just a little bit of a warning about the license. That can be easily solved. We'll make it MIT. And now we should be able to deploy. So for deployment, our migration file should mention these the new file that we created. So the way to create this migration content is we can follow the sample from here. This is very simple migration. In this case, we have 2 contracts to deploy, and they are called A token and B token. So A token here, and the same for B token. The only trick here is to make sure that we are using the contract names and not the file names. So I already deployed it earlier, so this is gonna give exactly the same results. So I have to pass the reset field option. Make sure that they are rerun. Okay, so now we should have this A token and B token on the block explorer. We can go here in Ganache and take a look at the contracts. How to link the truffle project. So ERC-20 truffle config, and we start. Okay, so we migrate again. All right, let's look at the contracts, and we have A token and B token. The ERC-20 contract as it is now has no supply. It's just a base implementation. So as it is, this token is quite useless, I believe, at least. So they recommend using a derived class, and we are going to use the one that they suggest, which is the ERC-20 preset minter or something like that. Let's do it now. So the ERC preset minter is this one. All we need to do is derive from it instead of deriving for ERC-20. And which make sure that we have. So this contract allows you to mint, and the minter is the first guy who created the contract. After compilation, we migrate. Now we're going to add an app, a small app that is a wallet, a very popular one. It's called MetaMask. It's a Chrome extension. So we have to do search here. No, we have to search in the store. Okay. Extension. To Chrome. Import a wallet. So I'm gonna use the mnemonic so that we can have the same show seed phrase. Password. Okay, I'll put a simple password. Import. Alright, so I should have 0 because this is still on the main Ethereum network, and obviously there's no fund in there. So I'm going to change this link to connect to this one, 7545 custom RPC. Let's call it Ganache, and the RPC is this address. I'll save. So now we're linked, and I can see that my account is right here. The reason why I'm doing this is also because this guy has I should have a viewer for ERC-20 token. Add token, there you go. And it's a custom token, so we need the token address, which is this address here. This one. This is our B token. Actually, we wanted A token, so let's go to A token. Okay, and we have a balance of 0. Let's send some money to this to one of my accounts, one of these accounts. Not money. Let's send the token. So we're gonna send. Okay, first we have to mint some token. So we'll try to mint. We'll mint 1 million tokens. Truffle has a way to make calls to functions without having to use the Web3 JS API to Ethereum, which is kind of tedious to use. So Truffle is way better. So we fire up the Truffle console and run Truffle console, and there's some documentation regarding how to interact with contracts. So this link here. Essentially, what you need to do is first get a hold of the contract object. So we mint on A token, so it's going to be A token deployed. I want to await that guy. Now A token has is an object that has the API, and we want to call mint. So signature of mint is you want to mint to a particular address and a particular amount. So let's mint to. I already mint some stuff for the second address before testing this. So I'm gonna mint to the third one now. Okay, so that one would be A token, the mint. We pass this address, and we are going to mint 1 million tokens. Okay, so now we can see that it went to there's a transaction, and the transaction was minted. We was mined. Sorry, mined. So it was 11. Now we got 12 blocks, and on the 12 this block, we should have this transaction 5197. Yes, and that would increase the balance here normally. So the token was sent to the third address, which is not the same as this one. This one is the first one. So we can either import this account here, or we can mint to the first address. Let's try importing to this guy. So we import an account, and we need to paste the signing key. I think that should be possible to have it from here. Yeah, this is the signing key. Copy this one, put it here, and then import this address. This address has 100 Ether, and you should have a lot of tokens. So we have also to add the token again. It's a custom token, and that token is so this address. Okay. Balance 0. That's pretty weird. Oh, sorry. Custom token. This guy next. Add token. Huh. Well, so we have one, but I think the problem is that our 1 million didn't take into consideration the fact that there are 18 decimals. Right, when we created this guy, we said we were going to use 18 digits up to the comma. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So it's really 1 million. But with 18 decimals, it turns out to be very small. Okay, so let's mint, and we call mint on it. So I need the I'm going to use the first address, this one, and the number is pretty large because it's 18 decimals. If I put 1, it's actually going to be this 10 power minus 18 of a token. So it's 1 million token. We have to pass 10 power 24, which is 18 plus 6. Which that number is higher than the normal decimal normal number in JavaScript. So we have to use a library for that. So bn. Okay, so we have to put 24 zeros. Okay. So now we are minted on transaction. That transaction should be minted and mine. So let me close this MetaMask because this is on the old account. Close this guy. Alright, so now this is 0 because it's a new blockchain. All these addresses do not correspond to anything anymore. Not really. Import account, and then I have the private key here. What did happen? What happened? So I said import private key. Alright, does that match it? I need to make it sticky. Okay. And then we have to add the token, right? Add the token. Go to contracts, and this is the contract address, the token address. Custom token, this is token address, 80k, 18. So if everything went well, we should have 1 million token. This is it. We have 1 million token here. And now we do the same with B. So this guy has this and that, and then we want to do the same with B. So we also grab the B token. And we do the same with B here. So we were minted because now it's 6 or mine. And we should have the same thing, but we're on the B token. So I'm gonna copy this and add the new token here in the browser. Custom token. Yeah, I have 1 million. Okay, so we have this account as 1 million of A and 1 million of B, right? Okay, and then the next step would be to install the Uniswap contracts, so that we can create a liquidity pool with these tokens.